As I mentioned, I do love New England, so I'm thrilled to be with you guys. So I am going to talk about a couple of different things. I am actually 49 years old, and so I am well in this mature skin group. So we'll start with skincare today, and don't mind me, but I'm going to take my makeup off so that I can then show you some different makeup tips. So when the first thing with mature skin and makeup is good skincare. If you don't have a good skincare regimen, it's something that you definitely need to start implementing. It's never too late. So a couple of things that you definitely need to be doing with your skincare is number one, every day, morning and night, washing and all of that. Number two, exfoliate. You only need to exfoliate a couple of times a week. Definitely don't do it every day. But exfoliating is really important. I just keep a bottle of my exfoliant in the shower, and then I, every other day, exfoliate then. So that's definitely something that you want to be doing. The other thing I like for skincare is some kind of vitamin C serum. I think it's really good for brightening, which as we age, our skin gets duller, unfortunately. Among the other things that happens. And the brightening C serum is really good for helping you get your skin a little less dull. So I do like brightening serum. You need a serum of some kind for sure. Serums are definitely something that we need as we age. And so brightening serum is good. I also have this CBD Beauty Boost that I like. So CBD, if you're not familiar, has no THC or anything like that in it. But it definitely provides deep serum, helps with wrinkles, reducing fine lines. So this is my go-to serum. If I had to forget anything else, I would keep this. So the CBD Beauty Boost is definitely something I love. The other thing that's really, really important with your skincare is eye cream. You need some kind of eye cream for sure. So this is the one that I use. I think they're all good as long as you're getting it from a reputable company. I definitely recommend you get some sort of skincare though that's clean, meaning definitely, no silicone, no any of the phthalates or phthalates or how you say it, none of the things that are bad for your skin. So just make sure you're using a good line that has clean products. You want minimal ingredients and clean products. So an eye cream is very, very important. So eye cream, vitamin C serum, some kind of other serum, beauty boost, something like that, and then moisturizer. So as we age, our skin loses moisture. So we have to do everything we can to put moisture back in. So moisturizer is super important. The other thing to keep in mind as you age is if you're using liquid or powder foundation, because liquid and powder foundation have alcohol in them. And alcohol is very drying. It literally sucks your skin dry. So I've had people say to me all the time, well, by the end of the day, my face just feels so dry. I have dry skin. Well, you probably don't have as much dry skin as you think you do. You're probably just using liquids and powders, and your face is getting sucked dry throughout the day. So we're going to talk about switching to cream makeup because cream is very forgiving, number one, so you can't mess it up. Number two, it's hydrating because it doesn't have alcohol, so it's going to put moisture into your skin, and it's just going to feel way more hydrated, and your skin will get acclimated to it, and after a few weeks, it's going to feel amazing, and that feeling of being dry by the end of the day will totally go away. The other thing about creams is that it's blendable, and so you can totally mess up and still be able to blend your makeup out and have it turn out beautifully. And then it's also buildable. So we're only going to put product where we need product, because if you've seen some of these older women, they like pour makeup on their face and they think it's helping them to look younger. Well, it's actually doing the complete opposite. So as we age, we actually should be using less product. So less is more. So with cream makeup, you can do that. You can use less product and you can put it only where you need it. The other thing we're going to talk about is color correcting. So as we age, different things happen. Like our, like for instance, I always like, you know, lines right here under my eyes. I'm sort of like my eyes are sinking in a little bit. Well, I can color correct that really simply with just a very little minimal amount of product. And then I can move on to my makeup after that. Redness is another thing that we get as we age. We can color correct that as well. So these are all things we're going to talk about. So the number one thing with makeup is to make sure that your face is ready to receive the makeup, for lack of a better way to put it. And that is by having a good skincare routine. All right, so let's jump in and start talking about makeup and some of the tips and tricks we can do as we age to help combat all the stuff that's happening. All right, so the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to try and get rid of this right here. So if you have, some people have bags under their eyes, we can talk about that as well. You're going to kind of use the same tip and trick for the bags under your eyes. Or if you just have dark circles, these are all things that we can color correct. I don't know about you, but when I, you know, even 5 years ago, I was using concealer that was like lighter, you know, and I kind of, it would be like almost a lot lighter than my skin tone. And that just, it was fine when I was in my 20s and 30s, but as you get older, that's going to age you. So you actually want to go up a shade, or you want to use a color that's going to color correct it. So for example, if you have purple under your eyes, you're going to want to use like a yellow. If you have, and these are all things I can help you figure out one-on-one. But if you have kind of like what I have here, we're going to use like an orange tinted kind of concealer. So that's the first thing we're going to do. All right. So if you have, like I have dark circles or like a line that's separating, or you have bags, what we're going to do, by the way, this is my makeup palette. So all my makeup is one little palette, and it's really cool because it comes in different sizes, by the way. These are all magnetic tins and they just pop in and out. So everything I need is in this one little palette, and it's really cool. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to start with this color right here. You can see it's kind of orangey, and I'm going to tap into it. And then all I'm going to do, because remember, less is more. We want to do very minimal product. So you're going to tap, and you're always tapping too. So I'm just going to tap over. I have a mirror in front of me, so I'm going to look up. So I'm going to tap over just the dark spots with as little makeup as I can. So I'm not just going to swipe product all underneath my eye, but I'm just going to do just the spots that need it. And I'm going to kind of go back with my finger and just make sure that that is blended. So if you have a bag under your eye, you would actually do, right, you know how your bag kind of creates a shadow? That's where you would put this color corrector, is right on that area that where that shadow is. So any dark spot is where you're putting this. So a little, I'm just barely putting any product there. And then I'm going to go back and make sure that is blended. So that's the first thing we want to do. So let me do this eye too, because I have to do both eyes or I'm going to look strange. Okay. And then I'm going to blend all that in, and then you'll be able to see it already. It's going to look it's going to look better. And then this is just step one. So again, I'm using cream makeups here. And the reason I'm doing this part first is because cream melds into your skin and your face warms the makeup, right? So after a few minutes, it's going to be melded into my skin, and then I'll be able to do something else. So this is step one. So you can see I've already kind of eliminated those, you know, whatever, I don't know what you call them, craters. I don't know what they are. Okay. So I've already done a little bit to help with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is get rid of this redness. So I've got redness all over my face, right? Well, not all over, but like right in the center, right around our nose is about tend to be the place where we get red. So for redness, rosacea, those kinds of things, you can also color correct with that. So this color right here is actually a contour color, but it has blue undertones, which is what we want because blue corrects red. So I'm going to use this right here. It's actually called Aspen, and it's contour color. And all I'm going to do is press over the red no, anything that's red, I'm going to press over. And it's going to immediately look a lot better just by doing this. So again, since it's cream, I'm pressing it in because I want it to stay. Well, not that I want to stay, but I want it to meld into my skin. So all these different little spots that I have that I don't really want to be red anymore, I'm just going to press over. So I got rid of my redness. All right, so that's step 2. And again, this is going on before my main highlight because I want it to meld into my skin. Okay, so contour. Contour scares a lot of people because it's a dark color. So the reason contouring is especially important for mature skin is because as we age, our face gravity takes over, right? And so things start going down. And so what we need to do with contour is kind of define those areas that are no longer doing it themselves. I don't know of any other way to put it. So like, for example, this area right here, the jaw area, we're going to contour this area. We're going to contour in just a few key places. And by doing that, it's going to make a world of difference. It's going to accentuate those areas that we want to accentuate. It's going to create a shadow. It's going to define. It's going to slim. It's going to do all these wonderful things. So it's not scary, I promise. You do it in the same place every single time, and you learn it once and you have it for life. So for contour, I'm going to go in, and we're always dabbing, right, with our cream makeup, because if we don't dab, if we swipe, we get way too much product on our brush. And remember, we want less is more. We want less product. So I'm dabbing. And now contour, we're going to go under our cheekbone here because we want to create a shadow right here for definition. So I kind of think of lining it up with the end of my eye. It doesn't have to be an exact science because it's blendable and we can fix it, but just kind of aim for that area. So we're going to aim for like right under the cheekbone, and then we're going to go up because we want to lift, right? So we're going up and back, just like that. And then I'll go back and blend it in just a second, but I'm going to do the other side too, up and back. So that's the first spot. The second spot you want to contour is your jawline, like we mentioned. And then with your jawline, you want to bring it down because you don't want that line. You don't want, you know, like one color on top, another color on the bottom. You don't want that. So the next place that we want to contour is the third place is right below our hairline. And we're just going to make a big C and connect it. So started at the top and I brought it all the way down and connected it. Okay. And I'm going to go back and blend all of this. So those are the 3 spots that we want to contour. If you want, you can contour your nose. People do that all the time. So I just flipped, my brush is dual-ended. So I just flipped the brush, and you can do the side of your nose is what you would do. Like that. And then you just would blend it in. All right. So now we're going to blend. So remember, this is cream. So we're blending. We're going to go upwards to fight gravity. Just like that. And it looks crazy right now, but I swear it's going to look amazing. Do y'all think I have a Southern accent? I bet you do. I bet you're like, this girl's got the most Southern accent. Oh. All right. So I have blended all of that in. There we go. Brought it down. So that's contour. So you can already see the shadows that it created, and it's very slimming too. So super simple. Very good. The next thing we're going to do is our main foundation. So the main foundation, you actually, as you age, you instead of going lighter, you actually want to shade up. Sounds crazy, but it's true. You want to go a little bit darker. I mean, very little bit darker than what your main, what your skin tone is. And so these are all things I can help you figure out. So don't worry about that. But you're going to shade up as you get older. So I have a shade here called Sandy, and I'm going to dab into that. So I'm dabbing, I'm always dabbing, and then I'm going to dab it onto my face everywhere that I don't have contour. Because we only want to put product where we need it, and not just all over the face, all over the place. So the difference too with cream makeup versus liquids and powders. So liquids and powders are one color all over, right? So you have like one foundation color and that's all you have. It's all over your face. Well, guess what? Your face is three-dimensional, right? So your makeup should be three-dimensional too. So that's what the contour does. It gives you one dimension. The main highlight is your second dimension, and your third dimension is coming up in a second. It's going to be a brightening highlight, and it's going to go in the middle of your face to bring attention to the middle of your face and brighten that area. So three things, 3D foundation instead of just one flat color all over. All right. So that is my main foundation. And you'll notice I didn't put it on the cheeks because I'm going to put a lip and cheek color there. So I don't need any additional product. I'm only using product where I have to have it. So I'll finish with the foundation, the 3D part, and then we'll talk about what we can do for like hooded eyes and things like that next. So, all right, the next thing I'm going to do is the third part. So I have contour, I have a main highlight, which is like your foundation, and now I'm going to go in with a brightening highlight. And this is my favorite part because it just really brings that brightness to the middle of your face. So when you're using a brightening highlight, and you're over the age of 40, you're only going to want to put it in a few spots under the eyes. You're not going to want to put it all under the eye because this is where our skin is the thinnest, right here. And so this is what shows wrinkles and fine lines the most is under the eye because there's just not a thick layer of skin there. So when we go in with our brightening highlight, we are going to put it in the corner like that. Like this is the reverse of that. It's kind of throwing me off. And then we're going to put it on the side. If you want an instant facelift, we're going to go up like that for an instant facelift. It looks crazy, doesn't it? You got to trust me. We're going to go up. And then we're going to do beside our nose because we're bringing attention to the middle of the face. Just remember that. That's all that this is doing. Down the middle there. And then we're going to put a dot right there. Okay, now I'm going to flip the brush. And now I can blend all of this in. But I don't want to put product all under there, but it's okay to blend it in and make sure it's nice and blended. So, and when you're using, when you're putting a brush on this part, you just want it to be nice and fluffy. Like this doesn't have a lot of resistance. And so it's not pulling and tugging at my face. It's very gentle. So there we go. So that's my brightening highlight. So super simple, 3D, contour, main highlight, brightening highlight. Now let's talk about where you put your blush. So blush placement is actually really important. So if you have, cheeks that are really, that are kind of thin and need some fullness, you would put your lip and cheek color on the apple of your cheek and blend it out there. If you're over the age of 40 and you're trying to look lifted and lighter and brighter, you're actually going to put it a little bit farther back and you're going to go up with it. So I like to use my finger to put it on because then I know exactly where it's going. So I'm going to kind of line it up with the middle of my eye and I'm going to take it back and up just a little bit like that. And I'll go back and blend it in a second. So I'm going to go middle of my eye and back and up. So on the apple of the cheek, if you need fullness, otherwise I would put it farther back. So now I'm blending and I'm going to take it up, kind of like up in here as well, on both sides. Okay, there we go. I hope you can see. Anyway, so that is lip and cheek color, and that's good placement to remember. So kind of the middle of your eye and up and up. We're going up. All right. Let's see. The next thing I like to do is everybody says they want that like dewy, glowy look, right? Well, you can get that with an illuminator. So an illuminator would go on like the high points of your face to give you that little bit of like subtle dewiness. And so that would be like the top of your cheek right here. And then I like to put some like right there in the corner of my eye because again, we're trying to bring attention to the middle of the face. You always definitely want to put some below your brow because we need brightness under there. And then you can even go down the nose in the middle of the face. So, all right. So that's your like main foundation. Now we should talk about two different things. Let's talk about eyebrows and then let's talk about eyeshadow. So eyebrows, a lot of people skip eyebrows. That's a no-no. We need to stop doing that. We need to definitely do our eyebrows every day because your eyebrows frame your face. And so just especially if your eyebrows are, see, like mine are darker, but I've filled them in already a little bit from this morning. But if you don't fill them in and if they're lighter, then you don't have enough. You need more to frame your face. So you need to fill them in so that they have a little bit of color in them. You can use your contour color, so you don't need an extra product. So just go in with your contour color and fill in your brows. It's super important. Don't skip this part. It will make a huge difference. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. So just filling them in is a big difference. And then you can flip the brush and, or if you have another brush that has a spoolie, and brush them out. 2 steps. Super simple. Don't skip it. It's important. All right, let's talk about eyeshadow. So as we age, eyeshadow, a lot of people, they just kind of, they get busy and they kind of let themselves go. Well, it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be super easy. And all you need is a matte shade that's like a lighter neutral and then a matte shade that's a darker neutral. Those two things together would be so easy, so fast, and would make a huge difference. If you are a little bit adventurous, I would then take just a very subtle shimmer, a light subtle shimmer, and put some like right there in the corner and then below your brow. So those one is great, even if you just do one, because your eyelids by themselves are discolored. They're not an even color, right? So just even doing one shadow would make a huge difference. So I should have taken my eyeshadow off, but I didn't. Anyway, we'll make it work. So I think like pinks and purples are good for our age. You could also do like a neutral, this is a little yellow, but like a neutral brown and a darker brown, and then like a lighter color. I'm going to go with pinks because that's what I have on. So you would take your matte pink, this one right here is the one I was using, and I just put that all over. And then if you have except for like, I'm going to leave below the brow. So I'm going to go all over and just leave that part open. So you want some spacing there. And then if you have hooded eyes, this is what you would do. So I'm lucky because I have one hooded and one not. So that's exciting. All right. So we're going to do what you do when you have a hooded eye is you look straight ahead, you tilt your chin up just a little bit and you leave your eye open because you want to be able to see where it would go. So you just do a little like windshield wiper back and forth, right? Kind of like right above the crease, right where you can see it. So that's where that would go. It is really, if you have really hooded eyes, I would suggest using a brown like this, like a really good transition color for that. So let me grab my thing here real quick. So I would do like a neutral, like this one maybe. So I would do like a neutral all over. And then I would do a brown, is this the same color? No, I would do a darker brown, like as your transition color up here. And then I would do a lighter color, this one right here, below the brow. So does that make sense? I hope so. And then, like I said, if you're brave, you could take a lighter color like this one here, close your eye and put it like right there in the corner, again, to create some brightness on the inside. So those are my 3 tips for eyeshadow. All right, what else? Let me think if there's anything else I've forgotten here. Oh, bronzers. So bronzers, I think bronzers are great. If you have, here's what bronzers are great for. So if you have a lot of age spots or really uneven skin tone, and you haven't found anything that can help with that, here's what I would do. I would start with a bronzer, and that's the first thing I would put on. And I would put bronzer, here's my bronzer right here. I would put bronzer all, just a super, 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 super light layer of bronzer all over your face. Like I'm talking super light. When I do in-person classes with people and I'm talking to them and I'm like, do a super light layer, I'll look up and they're like coated in makeup. I'm like, no. I'm talking super light, less, especially with cream makeup. This way less than what you're used to using, way, way, way less. But you would use a super light layer of bronzer all over your face to sort of like neutralize that uneven color, to get rid of those age spots. Then I would go back and do a light layer of contour, a light layer of your main highlight and your brightening highlight. So everything light, because you don't, remember less is more. You don't want a lot of product on your face. You want as little product as possible as you age. That is the trick. That's the key. So uneven skin tone, age spots, do a light layer of bronzer first and then do the rest of your makeup. The other thing bronzer is good for is if you just kind of want like a sun-kissed look. You just kind of want to look like you've had a little bit of sun, which in New England, you probably are like ready for that. Am I right? Figure we've had some nice weather except for today. So here's where you would put your bronzer. So think bronzer is going to go where the sun would naturally hit. So think about that. So I'm going to tap into my or tapping, right? Tap, tap, tapping into your bronzer. And then it's going to go like where the sun would normally hit. So kind of like around my eye like that. And then across my nose, because that's where the sun naturally hits. And then on my chin, and then I just go back and blend it. So bronzer is great for just giving you that little sun-kissed look. And that's it. So don't forget bronzer. It's definitely a really good tool, especially if you have really uneven skin tone and age spots. So what else? Am I forgetting any? Or you guys have questions? Like start asking questions because I've kind of like gone through, I've kind of gone through my little spiel here. I'm looking to see if I'm forgetting anything. All right, so eyeshadows with mature skin. Remember, highlight the brow bone and use matte colors unless you want just a tiny little shimmer on the inner corner. Okay, what else? Seeing if I forgot. I took notes here. Clean ingredients. Go ahead.
Sorry, do you use like a pencil or anything like for your eyes?
Okay, good question. So I don't, because I feel like that ages you. I'm not saying, I mean, it works great on some people. I don't know. It just isn't me, you know, to each his own. So what I like to do is this instead, because I think this is a softer look. So I just take whatever color I used in my crease and I put it on my lower lash line like that. And it's like a softer eyeliner kind of a thing. And I actually don't use an eyeliner on the top. If you want to have your eyes lined, what you could do is put a little bit of like a setting spray on your brush and then tap into your powder eyeshadow just a little bit. And then it will be more like a liner. And then you can line it that way. But I would need a darker color. This one isn't going to be dark enough, but that's what I would do. It just softer, you know what I mean? Like as you age, just a softer look and nothing quite so harsh. That's my opinion.
Someone asked if you could talk about lips.
Ooh, that's another thing I don't talk. Lips. Use your contour color to line your lips. It's actually a trick for you there. So use your contour color, line your lips. And it actually will help them to look fuller too. So this is another thing I've never worn. It's too much trouble. You know what I mean? Like it comes off. I'm like, come on. Yeah, so yeah, use your contour color to line your lips. And then you can use, so again, I would go a little bit softer, but definitely more color because we lose color in our lips as well as we age. So like this is probably too light. Let me get another color. Where are my colors? Here they go. So like a softer red, like this one would be good. And I just use my finger, but you could use a, you know, like that end, that kind of like sharper end, you know. I don't have a lot of advice for lips. I'm sorry. I don't. That's the one thing I don't have a lot of advice for.
Do people, or is there a way to find out like what makes your eyes pop? Like what colors are good for certain skin tone
See,
colors?
that's interesting because that's people think that there are certain eyeshadows that work better for different eye colors. And there are, I mean, they're definitely, especially if you have like green eyes and blue eyes, there are definitely eye colors that work, but actually all colors look great on all eye colors. There are some, like, for example, if you have, like for me, like my coloring is brown, a little bit of yellow. The pinks look really good on me. Greens, I actually have a little cheat sheet I could get. I don't know if I can put it up here really quick, but let me see. Yeah, but let me pull it up though. I can at least talk to you. Hang on one second. Sorry. And you know, I don't have my glasses, but I think I can still do it. Okay.
I just made you a co-host too, so you can share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So yeah, so brown eyes is you have your like, okay, I don't know if I can share. I'm not good at that. I'll try. Hang on 1 second. Share screen. Oh my gosh, I did it. Okay. Here we go. Share that. Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes. Yeah, we can. The eyeshadow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did it. I'm so excited. So here's some eyeshadow colors for brown eyes. So you can see the pinks are really good. This like peachy color is really good as well. Browns are good. I mean, I think especially with brown eyes and, you know, like the olive skin tone, the pinks are definitely really nice for that. So let's see what else we have here. Green eyes. So here's some green eye options. More of the yellows, the oranges, the, you know, I don't mean like orange, but like the orange browns, I guess, are really good for green eyes. Let's see, blue eyes.
One of the other questions, there's another question that also asks about what, can you talk about what kind of brushes to use and what kind of setting spray is good and when to use it?
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. How do I do that?
You just did. You're good. Well, all we see is your face.
Okay, so what kind of brushes to use? Really, you know, there's so many brushes out there on the market, and thankfully it's pretty easy to figure out, you know, because it says like this is this kind of brush, this is this kind of brush. The brushes that I use are from Saint and they are dual ended, so that, you know, makes it really nice. But they also, you know, are made for cream makeup. So if you do end up using cream makeup, I would definitely use brushes that are specifically for creams. And the other important thing about brushes too is that you need to clean them. It's like, for example, if you are painting your walls, you wouldn't use a dirty brush because the paint wouldn't go on the wall very well. So you have to clean your brushes, you know, at least once a week so that the makeup goes on better. So a blush and bronzer brush. So you're going to need different brushes for different things. So like the blush and bronzer brush is good because it's, you know, it's definitely not as dense. And so it's able to, you know, blend the makeup a little bit better. But like if you want full coverage, for example, you would need a brush that has really dense bristles that don't like blend as well. So like this brush would be perfect for full coverage, because you do want full coverage. You have a lot of areas that you need to cover. You have, you know, you just really want to look like you're wearing makeup. You need a brush, and you would stipple. So you need a brush that doesn't have as, you know, has denser bristles that aren't as fluffy. So you would stipple the product on like this all over your face for full coverage. So you would use a brush that is very dense. So like contour brush, you would need something that's kind of shaped, you know, like to fit those areas. And any brush that you find is probably going to be labeled for different things, but like the contour brush is, you know, angled. And then, like I said, for under the eye, you definitely want something that's super feathery and, you know, isn't going to pull and tug at that area. For eyeshadow brushes, you have a couple of options. You have the regular brush like you guys are used to. This is really good for that like windshield wiper motion and to get full coverage all over the eyeshadow or all over the lid. It does not put a lot of product on the eye though. So you need something with a denser end for like really going into the crease, or, you know, like we were talking about the lash line. So this end is a lot denser. For shimmers, a smudge brush works really well because it really puts, I want to find a good shimmer here. It really puts the more product on the lid. So a smudge brush, so see how this one is super feathery and the smudge brush is denser and stiffer. So like, for example, it's going to put like a lot more product on the lid. If you want even more, just you, especially for I'm mainly talking shimmers here, you would use your finger. Your finger can put even more shimmer down than a brush even. But a smudge brush, like a brush like this that's denser, is good for shimmers. Let's see what else. That's really about it for the brushes. Did I answer all the brush questions? So cleaning your brushes, you want to clean them like once a week. There are some, I would look for something that's like quick drying, quick cleaning. Like Saint has a brush cleaner that's really nice. You actually, let me find a really dirty brush here for you so I can see. Because if you have to use water, you have to be really careful with water, because it can get into this part right here where the glue is, and then it can affect like the brush itself, and it can come apart a lot easier. So using like a brush cleaner that, you know, just uses like a cloth, so you can see the product coming off there. I got like this box in front of, there we go. See, it just cleans it much better. It's quick drying too. It's drying like 30 seconds. Saint has one. I've seen others out there too. I know they exist. So, all right. So definitely clean your brushes. Setting sprays. Saint has a setting spray too. It's the only, you can set your makeup in two ways. You could use a powder. If you do use a powder, I would use a very like light powder, super finely milled. You don't want a heavy powder because that's like defeating the purpose of using cream makeup. But if you like a dewy look, then I would use a spray. If you like a more matte look, then I would use a powder. So a powder, let me find my powder brush here. Yeah, so powder would be good for like a matte look. And, you know, you just apply it like you normally would. A setting spray, you could either spray it directly onto your face, or you could spray it onto a sponge and set it that way. And this is more of a dewy look. Speaking of sponges, let's talk about sponges really quick. So sponges are great because they can take off any excess product. And remember, we want to use as little product as possible. And so a sponge is great for doing that, especially with cream makeup. So what I would do is I would take your sponge and wet it under the sink and wring it out completely, and even like wring it out in a washcloth, and then set it off to the side before you even start, and then do your makeup. And then when you're totally done and ready to you know, head out for the day and whatnot. Then I would go back and bounce the sponge along your face to remove any excess product. And that will be good too for like just giving you that nice all over finish. So.
Great. Are there any other questions? Yeah, I just, these are all, where can people find out more about Saint Cosmetics, Kellye?
Well, what I will do here is so my little palette here, it comes in a couple of sizes. I like this size the best because it's so, you just hold it in your hand. It's much easier and everything you need. The only thing that's not in here is mascara, which by the way, you should wear mascara. Don't skip mascara. But everything else is in here. So what I can do is we call it color matching. So I can get a picture of you, a selfie that has that where you're not wearing makeup. I need one without makeup. And don't worry, I show my face without makeup all the time. And I've seen 300 plus women without makeup on. It's going to be okay. But what you would do is you would go stand in front of a window like you're waving to a neighbor with the blinds open and the indirect sunlight coming in, and then take your selfie, and then you would send it to me. So I have a form called my color match form. I'll pull it up here and I'll put it in the chat. But you would just fill out this color match form, and it's a couple of different questions like what's your skin tone like? You know, what do you have? What issues are you trying to solve? Is it rosacea? Like those kinds of questions. What kind of cheek color do you prefer? Is it neutrals, or do you like your blush to pop? Those kinds of questions. And then you send me that along with your selfie. I'm trying to do two things at once. There it is. I just put it in the chat. You send me that along with your selfie, and then I'll send you a link actually with your palette. I'll be like, here's your palette. And you check it out and let me know what you think if you have questions. And then it's very simple after that. And then you get to be part of my community, and I'm like doing a giveaway tomorrow. I do all kinds of fun things. I give away free Starbucks sometimes. I do all kinds of fun things. So yeah, so I've helped over 300 women now. It's really fun, exciting.
That's amazing. So I don't see it in the chat. Am I looking at is it at the beginning? I see Kellye Essentially, saintofficial.com.
I just put it in there. Did it not show up?
Okay.
I'll try it again.
All right, thank you.
Did it come that time?
It didn't. You know, I'm going to.
Why don't I email you?
Okay. All right, and then I'll put it in the chat.
Yes.
Okay. There's nothing funner than figuring out what the color is.
Yeah.
And standing taking a selfie in the broad daylight.
Everybody hates that part, but it's okay. I've seen a lot of beautiful faces, and it's great. It's great. So don't sweat that part at all. But yeah, it's really cool, you guys. Look at that. Just are you ready to go? Throw it in your bag. It's wonderful.
And so, and it doesn't break, right? Like it looks like it's really durable, because I think of eyeshadows that if you drop it in your makeup bag, it just.
And actually, I did this thing. If you're on Instagram, you should follow me, because today I went on Instagram, and if you have, so actually these tins I did today, but if your tin, this is what it looks like. It comes like this with this little cute cover on it. This is what it comes like in the mail. It comes like this. And you just take it out and save these, by the way, because they're like a little shovel, and they can help you shovel them out from here. You can easily shovel them out. But anyway, so when it gets to the very bottom, and like this one is not quite there, but let's say it's like all, you know, empty except for just on the outside, you melt it. You literally, it sounds crazy, trust me, but you put it in a saute pan on low on the stove, and you watch it, because it's only going to take like 30 seconds. And then the creams like go whoosh, and they melt, they kind of, you know, spread back out and fill the tin back out. Like this one I melted today, because it was literally all that was left was like all around the edge, and I melted it, and now it's kind of, I've got another month out of it probably. No waste. But yeah, they're magnetic, and they just pop in there like that. It's pretty cool.
That is so cool.
All kinds of colors, all kinds. And so it's customized for you. So, you know, when you go to the store and you buy the eyeshadow and there's like 10 colors and you only want one or two, you don't have that anymore. You get to pick your colors. It's like ingenious. I wish I'd thought of it.
Okay, so you mentioned like the essential things at the beginning, like there's some products that you're mentioning, like the CBD oil, because you mentioned mascara. What if like someone's like, I don't want all of this stuff, but what is the most essential product you would not leave home without? If you like didn't do like out of all of the things you just showed us today, and
okay, yep,
yeah.
You definitely need moisturizer, eye cream, and you have to have face wash. And then you really need to exfoliate. So can I go with 4? I can have 4. Okay,
Of course. Are my 4. Yeah.
I probably use way too much, but those are the 4 I have to have. I can't.
What about mascara? Do you use your eyelash curler, or is that not good? Like
I wouldn't recommend an eyelash curler because it weakens. I couldn't get the word out. Weakens your lashes. Actually, what I recommend instead is using a what is this called? It's like a lash serum, I guess, to sort of help with growth. I mean, there's all kinds of, this isn't any brand that, I mean, anyway, it's a serum to help with lash growth. But then this is the secret sauce right here, a primer. So a primer on the lashes, it's a clear and it goes on first. And you do just, I do the bottom first because it dries pretty quick. So I do the bottom and then I go back with my mascara and put my mascara on. And then I do one on the top and go back and then one on the other side and go back. But I probably spend more time on my mascara than I do my whole face.
That's the one. You can't leave home without that one, right?
Oh my gosh. I absolutely have to have mascara. I think mascara is super important. This is by far my favorite because I don't know about you guys, but I've had some mascara too that like leaves black under my eyes. And I'm like, that makes me so mad. Like you have one job to stay on my eyelashes. And I don't like it when it gets under there. But anyway, this is my favorite by far. It's called It Cosmetics is the name of the company. And this is called Superhero. So you can remember that, right? Superhero. This is from L'Oreal. I don't think it really necessarily matters what kind of primer you use. Maybe it does. I don't know. This is this worked great for me. It's like 14 bucks. L'Oreal Lash Primer. But it's Superhero Cosmetics. And then this, I don't know what brand this is. I just found it off of Amazon. Oh, Grand, Grande, Grand Lash MD is the name of it. And it's a serum, a lash enhancing serum. I can't believe I saw that. Look how tiny the writing is and I actually could see it. I'm super excited about that. Yay, it's the little things I get excited about.
Yeah.
Your lips, make sure you moisturize your lips too, you know. It's a big deal. Chapstick or something.
Chapstick, okay. What about coconut oil as a facial cream? I know like it could be really oily and heavy, but it's for those who struggle with really dry skin.
Yeah, I don't think you would have that dryness as much anymore if you switched from powders and liquid foundation. I think, I'm not sure about coconut oil. Actually, I've never heard of that for your face. Actually, that's not true. I've heard of jojoba oil. That's probably the same.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, jojoba oil, or there's another one like a rose oil would be good. Coconut oil might be great. I'm not saying it isn't. I don't really know. But I actually, before I got this CBD Beauty Boost, I used to make my own serum and I made it with jojoba oil and frankincense because frankincense is really good for your face. And what else did I put in it? Lavender and some other things. But yeah, I think that's great. Anything you can do, any kind of serum like that, that's going to really like provide deep moisture, I think it's great. As long as you don't need much, you need like a tiny little amount.
Yeah, less is more, right? That's the lesson of tonight.
That's the lesson. Less is more.
Is there any other questions for Kellye? Kellye, this has been amazing. Like I've taken a lot of notes.
Oh, good.
Does anyone have any more questions for Kellye tonight?
Follow me on Instagram. I'm a fun follow.
She dances a lot.
I'm
Like
a
it's just,
goofball, as you can tell. I'm kind of a goofball, and I dance all the time. I dance down the street. I really do, like literally dance in the street. People think I'm crazy. It's okay. You only live once.
you do. And I found you on our library Instagram. Like you came up in our feed. So it's just like how things pop up in people's feed. And so here we are tonight, you know, all of it comes full circle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm here for you guys. I really enjoy helping women 40 plus with their makeup, and you will be amazed at how gorgeous you will look by just going to a 3D system where you contour, highlight, and brightening highlight. Just those three things. If you don't do anything else, you would be amazed. It just really makes a huge difference. So I have had the best time, and I really enjoyed this. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kellye, for coming. And thank you to all of you.